Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon, and Chanel is not here because she refused to watch Daredevil. She's a hater. She likes to watch, she watches those terrible shows, as you guys already know, and listen to us. She was like, I'm not, I'm not going to let myself reach down and watch the greatness that is Matt Murdock. So I got my homie Mike, who used to be my partner on the Why So Serious podcast back in the day, to come in and talk about Daredevil with me. What's going on, Mike?
I like to think we're still partners, Brandon, even if we're not recording actively.
Well, yeah, we're still partners. But before we get into this episode, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. Chanel's the one that usually reads the review, so I don't know if we got one or not. So let me take a look. But you can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/@WeWasWatching, or just search for the We Was Watching podcast. Like our video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you can see us go live. You can also email the show at wewaswatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what you think about Invincible, which Chanel and I are reviewing. We'll be reviewing the season finale of Paradise, probably on Monday, hopefully, which has been an insane season. So tell us what you think about that. And tell me and Mike what you think about Daredevil, and we'll talk about that as well. And then you can follow us on all the different social medias at We Was Watching, wherever you are on social media. Michael, were you excited for Daredevil to be? Oh, hold on. We have drops on this show, Mike. You're not familiar with that, so we have a drop. So when we about to recap the show, right? This is what we play.
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
That song was before you were born. But Mike, were you excited about Daredevil coming back?
Oh, absolutely. I watched every episode of Netflix Daredevil when it came out. I watched every time Daredevil appeared in the MCU, I was right there. Daredevil, I love Daredevil. I was very excited for this. Brandon knows I've been talking about it for months. When the trailer came out, I was hyped. I'm very excited. I love Daredevil.
Okay, so what'd you think about this episode?
I thought it was awesome. I feel like after seeing, now obviously we've only seen one episode. Season 1 felt a lot like there was a lot of emphasis on Matt. Season 2, I feel like based on what we saw in the trailer and this first episode, this is going to be like heavy Daredevil. Like more, less Matt, more Daredevil. Matt's missing. We're going to get a lot more action. He's angrier. I'm very excited. I thought it was real gritty. I like that Batman kind of stuff.
All right. So, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was funny. What up, Code Knox in the chat? But I thought it was funny because I usually watch a lot of nerd videos for the nerd shows. And I watched this episode. No, that's not Chanel. Look, Code Knox, Chanel refused to watch Daredevil. So when she comes back on Monday to watch for recapping, when we come back to recap Paradise, just make sure you come in here and let her know that she should have been here recapping Daredevil with us, and that we will not accept her looking down upon the superhero shows. All right, Code Knox, and everybody else in the chat, when y'all come back, make sure y'all let Chanel know that, and so that she can be shamed to showing up next week to talk about Daredevil with Mike and I. But Mike, I was watching some YouTube videos, and I was like, I want to see how these fucking people on YouTube recap, the ones that do like, this is all the Easter eggs and all the real life, blah, 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 like all the stuff where they go into every little background thing and what it means and where it was in the comic book and all that shit, like one of those shows. I was like, all right, I want to see how the fuck y'all going to do this without talking about like the real life shit that this is like clearly playing on in the show. Oh, we have a corrupt guy in charge who's a criminal, and he's corrupt, who has an unsanctioned law enforcement group who dresses in all black and wears masks, goes into the cities to single out a particular group of people. When they find them, they get taken away with no due process, get taken to a black site where they are disappeared, where no one can find them, and potentially gotten rid of. Also, stacking the courts against them so that they get sent to prison or corrected. Where in the world has that happened before? Like, they must have thought of that out of thin air, Mike. There couldn't have been nothing that inspired that or made them think about that in real life. And I watched this YouTube channel. I watched this one YouTube video from a really popular channel that was 30 minutes long. Okay. 30 minutes long, telling me all types of insane real life shit about like product placement and what this thing means and that thing means based in real life. All this insane shit, and did not mention that a single time. How is that possible, Michael? How is that possible?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if people were afraid to put stuff out there.
How are they afraid? That's what the show's about.
No, I mean like I think that I've seen people on social media be afraid, like who are hesitant to post on social media because they're afraid of being targeted.
No, I'm talking about the YouTube people. Like, how do you not say, oh yeah, this is based on, I mean, it's clearly based on ice, right? Like, that's so obvious what this is based off of. It's based off ice. And so
I think there were some lines, like I think that line that Buck, when one of those guys was like beating the crap out of the guy, the captain, he was like beating the crap out of him, and Buck walked in and he's like, you ever consider that you like your job a little too much? I think that was literally like, that line was not meant for the character on
no, it's so obvious what they're doing on the show, which I don't have a problem with. So you can you can see how this relates to what is happening in real life, but you don't think it's bad. Okay, cool. That's cool. But besides that, I enjoyed the show. I'm mostly looking forward to seeing my girl Jessica Jones, who was the best part of the Netflix series. You hated Jessica Jones so much. You didn't like the shows. You didn't like the Purple Man. You hated it so much because you were a hater.
Yeah, that is slander or libel, whichever one is spoken.
I love Jessica Jones, and I can't wait till she shows back. And when they name dropped her, I literally jumped out of my seat. I was like, oh, yes, they're not even hiding it. They're like, we talked to Jess. And I'm like, yes, where's Jess? I need more Jess. So hopefully, next week, Mike, they're doing 2 episodes. So this week was 1 episode. Next week is episodes 2 and 3. And then after that is just 1 episode for the rest of the time. So next week, for some reason, it's 2 episodes. So I'm imagining something happens that requires them to put out 2 episodes in 1 week, which I'm very excited for. But
for the record, I love Jessica Jones.
Yeah, okay. So let's get into this episode, Mike. The show starts off with Daredevil infiltrating the cargo ship. And so sailing towards first Freeport. So you remember last year, he was having this big project to get this Freeport where it's like not covered by any type of laws or jurisdictions, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants there. And he see him in his all black outfit with the DD on the chest. What'd you think about the suit, Mike?
Love the suit. Absolutely love the DDs. I mean, dark and broody, that's my style.
He's not Batman, okay? He's much better than Batman.
I like Batman in this episode. He was kind of like Batman.
No, because he was bad. No, because
he was beating the
there's a difference.
Out of these guys.
Daredevil is fully aware that he's close to killing people and beating the shit out of them. Batman pretends that he doesn't kill people, and he just says, "I don't kill people." Matt will like question himself. Did I go too far? Bruce doesn't question himself. Does he go too far? He's like, oh, I was so precise in punching this person's brains in that I knew that like I got him, like he might have some brain damage, but he won't die. And I'm okay with that.
No, there's no brain damage in the DC.
Yeah, there's brain damage. Daredevil sneaks on board. He discovers a crate full of weapons that's heading into the city. He thinks he hits the jackpot. And then a bunch of soldiers run up on him. He beats the shit out of him. Pretty good combat scene, right? I thought it was straight, Mike.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was.
I love that he's using his. I don't know what to even call that thing. They're not. his batons that are tied together. They're eskrima sticks like Nightwing uses, but they're tied together. So I don't know if that makes them called something else, but I love when he uses those.
And then the people that's like moving the shipments, the captain and the first mate, they see him on the videos and they're like, oh shit. Like we was told if anybody boards this ship, we gotta sink this motherfucker. So they go to sink the ship in the dip, but it doesn't like sink to the ground. It doesn't sink to the bottom. It just like points up, right? And like it gets rushed with water and Daredevil has to get out. I don't know how far he had to swim to shore.
Listen, this is my only complaint. I wanted to see how he got out of that awful situation.
Well, he swam.
But how? All the way to the bottom and out through. I mean, he's still blind. Like, how does his powers work underwater?
He has enhanced senses, Mike. Do your senses work underwater? Can you smell and hear underwater?
Like, but his touch is also enhanced, and now he's covered in water. I don't know.
Can you touch underwater? You're a diver.
Yeah, but
okay then.
He's just
okay.
I just want.
So they work underwater.
They just kind of cut to him being fine. I was like, oh, he's just cool.
Well, he had to swim ashore, so he swims ashore, and but before that, he takes one of the guards' watches, and it's almost like he memorized how it ticks, so that he could put in the box. I'm assuming he's gonna go back there and try to hear for that tick to find the box underwater, which will be interesting. So after he comes back on upshore, he's completely wet. Excuse me. He goes back to Josie's bar, which, is now like the hideout for Matt and Karen. And Karen's in there training. And so apparently between season 1 and season 2, Karen and Matt are back together. Mike, are you excited about that?
Yes, absolutely. I thought it was his relationship with Heather was
turn it down.
His relationship with Heather was doomed to fail.
So you didn't like Heather and Matt together?
I got weird vibes about her, and after watching episode 1, my opinion was validated strongly.
Well, she is
traumatized.
Yeah, she is a bit traumatized, but she's doing some real fuck shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, in the comic books, Mike, I don't know if you know this, but in the comic books, Kirsten and Daredevil hook up and Matt hook up.
Yeah, we talked about that during season 1.
I want to see that. That's what I want. Karen is toxic, okay?
Doesn't Bullseye kill Karen in the comics too?
I mean, yeah, but Karen, I don't think they're going to kill Karen. Karen is toxic, though. She's toxic for Matt. He can do better. He got a nice lawyer woman who loves him. Like, go over to Kirsten. Make that work. I think that'll be good for him. But Karen's in there, fighting, practicing against the little fighting stick. And he go in and Matt and her kiss, and he's so excited. He's like, yeah, we got a good one. Like, your source was right. They had a bunch of weapons. We figured that shit out, sunk that shit. It's really going to piss Fisk off. So it starts to show off a little bit bright, right? A little bit bright for this dark-ass show. We cut to the port the next day, and Fisk is there with his cabinet, and they're pissed. And Fisk wants to know who else knew about what was on this ship. And his right-hand man was like, it's just me, you, the captain, and the first mate. That's it. He was like, all right, we got to find those motherfuckers because that could be a problem for us if this shit gets out. And so that's Buck, right? That's his name. Buck, right?
This is like the guy who's all put together, who's been carrying out like assassinations.
So he also tells his chief of staff, the woman, he's like, all right, we're gonna say that the vigilante of Hell's Kitchen did this shit to put an APB out on him. He sunk that shit, and because of the Safer Streets Act, that can basically allow ICE to go after anybody to try to find that motherfucker. So we cut to DC, and we see Mr. Charles at the bar, and he gets a phone call, and it's essentially about the sunken ship, and he's basically like, all right, I'll go up to New York myself, and he dunks his burner phone in his drink and heads up. Mike, what were you expecting about Mr. Charles? Were you curious about this mystery character?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the episode description for the show. Like they talk about a mysterious character from DC joining the group, so he's clearly important, and we get a hint of how important he is by the phone call he makes later in the show, which is a reference to another MCU project. So I don't know. I have no idea who this guy is. I'm definitely interested to see how who he ends up being, and where this. Do we know where this falls in the timeline? Is this after Thunderbolts?
Yes. Yes.
Because did you catch the phone call he made later in
Yeah.
his next scene?
So he called Elaine Bennis, which we'll get to.
Elaine. Oh, from
yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, Elaine Bennis. That's who that is. Mike, check your phone. And so then we get back to the mayor office, and Fisk is watching footage of Daredevil, so he knows that it was him. And he's pissed off, and he wants to get them out of the paint. But the lieutenant governor shows up in the office and is like, hey dog, the governor's not going for this shit. This all these vigilantes on trial. We can't handle this shit. We don't have no evidence for this. We about to put some oversight on this whole operation you got going on because it ain't good. And then it comes back and Mr. Charles rolls in and he's like, oh, I'm gonna just sit over here, dog. It's all good. Go on, do what you're doing. Do what you're doing. And then the governor gets a call, and it's from Miss DeFontaine, Elaine Bennis. She basically told him to chill out on this shit and help out whatever Fisk wants. And then he immediately was like, all right, dog, we good. Whatever you want, we good. We good to go. We good to go there. So then we see Fisk eating dinner with Vanessa and Mr. Charles. And Mr. Charles is so gregarious, man. He is feeling himself. He's basically like, you gonna talk in front of your wife? Can we talk in front of you? Is that cool? We talk in front of your wife? She can hear this shit? And he basically says, look, man, we need them guns. We trusted you with them guns. We're gonna have to somebody go get those. And whoever go get those, that might be the last thing they do. All right, we can't have no loose ends on that motherfucker. So you can either get your guys, right? Or I can provide you with some guys that are disposable and take care of that shit. So you figure out which one you want to do. So then we get Heather, Mike's favorite, talking to the swordsman, Jack Duquesne. What do you think about Jack Duquesne, Mike? How you like him?
I feel like we haven't actually got to.
We're having some audio problems today.
Jesus.
I feel like we haven't really got to see him do anything as the swordsman.
Yeah, I know. But what do you think about the character?
I mean, I like him. I think he's cool. I want to see him do something with a sword.
Well, we saw him on Hawkeye.
Briefly.
Well, he was on Hawkeye a lot. They thought he was the villain. We thought he was the villain of the show. He wasn't the villain, but we thought he was the villain. And she's giving him basically this personality test to see how deranged or fucked up he is. And he's like, I'm not answering that shit. I know my due process. And she basically said, this is ICE. You don't have no due process. So we can either beat the shit out of you and then your trial gets put on hold until you heal so you can stay here indefinitely, or you can answer my fucking questions. So he started answering the questions. And while she's asking him questions, she starts to see images of the muse just pop up in her head. And so she's clearly not dealt with her trauma at all. And I was like, this is not going to be good, because if she sees everyone through the guise of the muse, it's going to be a bad situation for all these vigilantes.
I'm glad that they put that in there, though, because I would not have believed that she would have made such a 180. Even though I didn't really like her for Matt, I didn't think she was a bad person last season. And so I think without those flashbacks to the muse, it would have been hard for me to believe that she made such a 180.
Well, if you remember, though, Mike, she did say throughout all last season how much she didn't like mass vigilantes. Remember she got in an argument with Matt about that?
And then one saved her from Muse, which I noticed she doesn't care about that.
Yeah, but it's basically like, is that worth it that Muse was there? Like it's like the Batman thing, right? Like there's a theory about the Batman is that like all that shit exists in Gotham because of Batman. It's like people see him as a challenge, and these crazy people come out to challenge him. And if he didn't exist, we might not have these people, right? So it's kind of like that. That's kind of like how she feels. She's like, all of y'all are just, and the Avengers are different. We got to remember that. The Avengers are sanctioned by the government. They are not vigilantes. The new Avengers or the old Avengers, they're not vigilantes. They got the Sokovia Accords. They're sanctioned by the government. So the people don't see the Avengers in that way.
Well, we haven't seen the Avengers get to operate under the government really, because that happened, and then Infinity War, they did whatever they needed to do. Endgame, they did whatever they needed to do. So we haven't really, and then the new Avengers, they were under the guidance of director Dave Fontaine. But I think that's a harder argument to make in Marvel because of all the alien, like the world knows about aliens. Like couldn't cover up New York, No,
but they don't fuck with aliens either. They don't fuck with aliens either. It's like the whole thing in the comic books. Like, why are people okay with the Fantastic Four but don't fuck with the mutants? It's it's the same thing, right? Like it's how prejudice works. And in this way, it's like, oh, those heroes are the good ones, right? Like you hear that a lot, like with minorities, like one of the good ones. The Avengers, they're the good ones. We're okay with them. Captain America, we good with them. But
well, I guess everyone knows who the Avengers are.
This dude with devil horns beating the shit out of people in New York City. Oh, I can't fuck with that. This fucking Menace in a spider suit, right? I can't. What the fuck is this Menace doing? Just running around throwing webs on everything, tearing up the city. I can't fuck with that, right? Like that's how it works. So, back in the NYC district attorney gives Heather a call after this evaluation. He's like, "Hey, dog, I was looking over your notes from interviewing Jack, and he don't seem crazy enough for me. Like, I need him to be more crazy so I can get this real easy in court. So can you make him a little bit more crazy for me?" And at this same time, she sees the music again, and she kind of blanks out. He's like, "You there?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, cool." She's like, "Okay, cool." And then you see her erase a no answer and make it a yes answer. So she's completely fucked up. And I love how
do I see demons that tell me what to do?
Actually, I'll wait till this happens a little bit, Larry, because there's a great thing that happens in this show that's like such an allegory to real life. So then we see Matt undercover trying to trying to basically take down Fisk, and Kirsten's worried about him. We cut to his law offices, and she's like, "Where the fuck is he? I haven't heard from him in a while. My guy's missing." And she asks Cherry, Matt's investigator, to look into the missing people and find Matt, but he knows where he is, but he don't tell her. So then Matt and Cherry meet to discuss basically like, these missing people, and he basically tells her like, Kirsten's worried about her. Like you can reach out to her. He's like, I don't. Now this is the Batman thing. I don't want to bring her into this. I don't want to put her at risk. Okay, Matt. So he goes, but with Fisk looking for him, anyone he's connected to could be at risk. Now, to be fair, Foggy did get shot. Okay, so maybe he feels like that could happen to someone else. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. But the Fisk's ICE unit is on the hunt for the captain and first mate of the ship. And the guy that leads it, Powell, that dude is so evil. When he dies, it's gonna be so good, Mike. Oh, it's gonna be such a satisfying death. I cannot wait. And he can't just get locked up. He's got to go. Okay, he's got to go. That dude's got to go. And the Punisher, has got to take. I want the Punisher to take him out. Although I don't think the Punisher's coming back this season, but the Punisher's got to take him out. Yeah, I don't think Frank's coming back this season.
No way.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. That's what I read.
I thought he was in the trailer, wasn't he?
I don't think Frank's coming back. Frank's special airs the week after the finale. The Punisher special airs the week after the finale, but I don't think he's coming back this season. So then they go to this restaurant where this in Greek town where he's like, oh, y'all Greek? He must be here because he Greek and y'all Greek, so he must be here. Like, where else could he go? All y'all Greek people eat at the same place. But it just happened to be that this woman sneaks people out of there. He punches this woman in the fucking face, goes out back, captures the guy, the captain, and they take his ass back. And then Power interrogates the captain, torturing the shit out of him. He admits that, I just did what we was told to do. I sunk the fucking ship. The fuck else you want me to do? Buck comes in and tries to play good cop, talking about you could have gave him some tea. You didn't have to beat the shit out of him. You love your job too much. As he proceeds to then shoot the guy in the back of the head. Just all terrible fucking people. All terrible people. Back at the restaurant, Max there, he talks to the owner. He's like,
but Buck has a code at least. He's your traditional, I'm under orders to kill this guy. So he seemed like, the beating is not necessary. Just get rid of him or get what you need. He's like, he's easier. I hate Buck much less than I dislike Powell. Powell sucks.
Yes. Well, they all suck. All of
them. They all
suck.
But I feel like Buck is your traditional, I'm under orders to kill this guy. I'm just gonna kill him.
Turn down a little bit, Mike. So then back at the restaurant, Matt's talking to him. He's like, listen, if the first mate comes in here, let me know. I'm on the same side as you. I'm Matt Murdock. You know my face. You know this handsome face. I'm Matt Murdock. I do the right thing. You come to me. So then we see Karen put on her wig, which, by the way, she looks so much better with the wig on. And she goes to visit BB Urich.
So mean.
And she's basically like, yeah, dog, Fisk is dangerous, and I think your uncle died trying to protect me, so just be careful. I don't want you to fucking die, okay? And she didn't know. I don't think she knew that Fisk murdered her uncle. Or I don't know. She didn't get confirmation, but she got confirmation now. And she's just like, be careful.
Well, they brought it up last season. The police chief, I think it was like, are you aware that Fisk was the main suspect in your uncle's murder? And she said yes.
And we also see that doofus motherfucker that's like a Turning Point USA college Republicans guy working for Fisk that, BB is still her. Yeah, he's deputy mayor now. That's right. BB, got his house clean. So, she planting shit in his house to find all the stupid shit that he's bringing home that nobody's supposed to find out about. So then, the district attorney shows up at Kirsten at Murdoch's office and is basically like, who cares about the evidence? Who cares about your defense? We got the judges in our pocket. This shit's going down. So why don't you just come back to my office and we'll pay you whatever you want and get back over here. And she's like, what the fuck happened to you? You just going along with this bullshit? Where's your morals? Where's your backbone? What the fuck's wrong with you? And this was so good because there's so many people who otherwise you think had morals, or even if you didn't like them, had some type of gumption in real life government that are just going along with the terrible shit. And they made a point in the show to say, look at all these people. The black woman that's his chief of staff, fucking the district attorney, people on the police squad. There's so many people that knows this shit is fucked up and corrupt. But I'm just going to go along with it. Who cares? I'll just go along with it. And so I thought that was a really, really good scene to add in here. So we end the episode though, with the ICE people rolling up at Cherry's crib. And
Al wasn't there, so you knew they were all going to die. There were no named characters.
Oh, because Powell wasn't there. Yeah, good point.
There were no named characters, so you knew something was
And
going to happen.
they tie up Charity, start beating the shit out of him, and then Daredevil shows up, beats the shit out of him, but then he can hear Charity's like heart palpitating, like he's going to have a heart attack, and that kind of freak fucks with him because he hasn't dealt with his trauma from losing Foggy. And so he gets stopped in the way, and then the ice people come in there and start fucking him up and taking him over. And they take his mask off, and they go, Matt Murdock? He's blind. How could he be doing this? He's a blind man. And when you're just like, oh shit, they finally going to tell, because in the comic books, there's a thing that he always gets his fucking cover blown. Like people know Matt Murdock's Daredevil. Like all that happens all the time in the books. So you're like, oh, they're finally gonna do that shit. But no. Next thing you know, all the ice people is dead. Oh, let me start saying ice before I get thrown in jail. The AVTF people are dead, and only one man could do that. And it's Bullseye. He throws it nice in there.
It was Punisher.
No, it wasn't fucking Punisher.
I mean, when until the knife came and with the logo.
No, at no point the Punisher doesn't kill like that. The Punisher's, oh, I'm going to kill you right in front of you. He don't snipe people from like that. Mike,
that's what I thought.
He shot Mike. Did you see what Bullseye did? It was one of the coolest kills I've ever seen in my entire life. He shot one of the ATV or whatever the fuck, Vigilante Task Force people through the eye. Okay? It went through the one guy's eye, through the back of his head, and then through the back of the head of the guy behind him, and then through his eye. That's one of the coolest kills I've ever seen in my entire life. That shit was so cool. And so if me and you are standing back to back, I got shot in my eye. It goes through the back of my head, into the back of your head. It comes out through your eye. What a fucking cool kill. That shit was incredible.
Why do you think he did that?
We know why he did that. Because he's trying to take down Fisk.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And he knows if Daredevil's fucked up, like he don't fuck with Daredevil, but they've got a common enemy now. And so for Daredevil's identity is saved, and Cherry is not dead, although he's not in great shape. He's not in great shape either.
They could start episode 2 with him being dead. We don't know.
That would be kind of weird for him to die off screen.
I don't want him to die.
And that was the end of the episode. Mike, what are you?
I have a question.
Okay.
I was interested to hear your thoughts on the fake Fisk, and if you think it's BB, because I thought.
Oh yeah,
BB.
of course it's BB. Yeah.
You think it's BB?
She said last season. If you remember, she said last season. Remember she talked to the police guy, and he was like, "You are the one propaganding Fisk. What the fuck you talking to me for?" She was like, "Take this card and send information to here. I don't always release stuff under my name. Like I can do good shit under a different name. Like this is how I stay above board." So that's 100% BB. My thing is, were they trying to say that like that's out on the internet, like that's on social media, and people are seeing that? Because the way I took it, it's kind of like real life, where it's like the president now. If you hear him talk, he'll talk like everything's great. It's the best economy in the world. Like people got the best jobs in the world. Housing's great. We won the war. Everything's great. So just perfect, great, right? And then these people talking is great. But like in real life, everybody else is like, what the fuck is going on here? This shit is fucked up, right? BB is doing those fluff videos for him, which look completely fake and contrived, right? They look completely fake and contrived. I'm curious if the actual people in the city are like, we don't fuck with Fisk, right? Or do they kind of like him, but it's not as fluffy as it is? And she's trying to give that other thing on social media, like, no, this is the real shit. Because somehow on that video with the puppet Fisk, they had footage of Daredevil on the ship. And I'm like, how would BB get that?
She doesn't even know he's Daredevil. So Karen could have gave it to her
because they're clearly they have like a relationship. But
no, but it didn't say anything about Matt Murdock. I'm saying in that fake Fisk video, they showed the clip of Daredevil on the ship, like from the security cam. And I'm like, how did BB get access to that security cam footage?
Yeah, I guess Karen wouldn't even have that. It would have to be Fisk's team.
So it could be coming from within, right? So
well,
like,
she
I don't
could have
know.
got it from that dumb. Well, I don't even know his name.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. Yeah, I forget his name. He's such. You know who his daddy is, Mike?
Yes, in real life, right? The Sopranos.
Yes. Yeah, Tony Soprano. That's
Tony
his daddy.
Soprano. I didn't realize that until I saw his name in the credits, and I am happy for the actor, but I'm trying to figure out if this is a nepo baby situation or what.
I mean, he's very good at playing a Turning Point USA douchebag, like college kid. Like he's excellent at that. Excellent.
His dad had a reputation for being a very well liked, everybody loved him kind of guy.
So, Mike, what are you looking forward to in episode 2?
Jessica Jones.
Yes.
I mean, despite the slander that I received at the beginning of this episode, I Jessica Jones and Daredevil were the only 2 Netflix shows that I liked. I wanted to like The Defenders so bad, but it was just so hard to do that. Jessica Jones, and I there's so many questions that I have about like what's gonna. Did you catch that Fisk is calling his New York campaign "Born Again"? New York Born Again.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I just want.
Make
I'm
New
looking
York great
forward to
again.
Yeah, New York Born Again by Wilson Fisk. I got to tell you, I want Fisk to stay around for a while because I love that he's back and that he's interacting with Daredevil. But because we got these 3 new Spider-Man movies coming out, I want to see the interactions between Peter and Fisk, especially because I think we all suspect that Peter's getting his black suit soon. I would love to see that scene in the comics where Black Suit Spider-Man goes to visit Fisk in jail. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh my God. I want to see other heroes interact with Fisk. I think that'll I think that it'll really help make Born Again feel like a proper part of the MCU. So where you have like, if you like, if you have other heroes interacting with Fisk, or like they mention him in the Avengers or something, like how bad New York has gotten or something, I think that'll really make it feel like it's part of the MCU. But there's just so many great stories with Fisk that don't include Daredevil.
Yeah, that's true. So I think we will see him with Spider-Man. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Jessica Jones. I want to see Wise 2 episodes next week. So what type of cliffhanger they leave us under. And I can't wait to see when Matt finds out Foggy's not dead. That's going to be great.
What?
What do you mean what? They said it last season.
He's not dead?
Yeah, Foggy's not dead.
No, he's not dead. I mean, he is dead. He is dead. What are you talking about?
I don't think he's dead. I don't think Foggy's dead.
He's returning in season 2, but nothing in season 1 indicated that he was alive. There's aside from fan theories.
Yeah,
there are
theory.
Storylines where his death was faked by Vanessa Fisk or witness protection. So I guess they could bring him back, but there's nothing. It doesn't seem like anything in season 1 happened to indicate that he was alive, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, Vanessa Fisk says she had Foggy dead. Don't you remember that? Killed?
She was responsible for his death. She had him killed.
There you go. That's your answer. But we appreciate you joining us for this episode. We're hoping Chanel will join Mike and I next week to talk about episodes 2 and 3. So if you're listening to us, just hit Chanel up on Threads or Blue Sky and say, hey, at Chanel Creating, and say, hey, where the fuck were you on the Daredevil review? We want to hear you with Mike and Brandon because you're not too good to talk about superhero shit. So just need Chanel a little bit to get her to come over to the good side, the good shows, so we could talk about that. And then, but Chanel and I will be back to talk Invincible and Paradise next week. So come check us out there. Remember, you can watch us live on YouTube at youtube.com/@wewaswatching. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you can get podcasts at. And follow us always on social media at We Was Watching. And until then, Mike and I will be back next week. Chanel usually does the outro. Have no fear.